Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to our podcast Zakat and Tax, Corporate versus Sole Proprietor. What you need to know. I'm your host Khalida, and joining me today are three amazing guests to break down the real world practice of Zakat and Tax in Malaysia. Let's welcome Lisa, representing Bank Islam Malaysia BERHAD, our corporate expert.
Hi everyone, happy to be here.
Next, we have Anis, a passionate small business owner of TAPAK KUDA AUNI.
Hey, can't wait to share my experience.
And lastly, FAWWAZ, our tax and zakat specialist.
I am here to help connect the dot between both systems.
Alright, Lisa, let's start with the Bank Islam. How does Bank Islam calculate zakat?
Well, Bank Islam pays corporate zakat based on Sharia principle, mostly using the net working capital or profit after tax method. It's calculated with guidance from the Sharia committee, and in 2024, we paid 11.4 million in zakat.
Wow, that's huge. And what about the tax?
We are taxed under the Income Tax Act 1957 at 24%, but we get to claim zakat as a rebate, which help reduce our tax liability.
Interesting. Anis, how about you as a sole proprietor?
So, for small business like mine, TAPAK KUDA AUNI, I calculate zakat as 2.5% of net profit. In 2024, I paid over 250,000 ringgit to several state religious councils. For income tax, I filed under individual tax using Form B.
And just to add, sole proprietors are taxed at a rate between 0 to 30% depending on income level. So it's personal income tax, not corporate.
Now, let's talk about how you both manage payment and reporting.
For Bank Islam, the zakat payment process is done internally. We calculate corporate zakat based on working capital or profit after tax, as advised by our Sharia committee. Once calculated, it's recorded as a business expense and distributed to official zakat institution, usually across multiple states. We ensure proper documentation and zakat payments are fully traceable in our reports. It's also part of our commitment to ESG and Islamic values. As for tax, we submit corporate tax return as per LHDN schedule and claim zakat as a rebate under the Section 6A3 of the Income Tax Act.
In my case, I pay zakat directly to state zakat office. I also share the process on social media to encourage the others. For tax, I use LHDN e-filing system, and it's quite user-friendly now. And there's even a CP 500 for the installments.
Malaysia integration zakat as a tax rebate is unique. But remember, only zakat paid to official authorities qualifies.
What are the biggest challenges in staying compliant?
For Bank Islam, it's managing changes in Sharia rulings and national tax laws. It requires retraining, system updates and careful governance. Balancing between religious and legal obligation is not easy.
I agree. For small business, zakat is confusing. Some people think zakat only applies to savings. They forget it applies to the business profit too. Plus, not everyone uses proper bookkeeping.
That's a key issue. Unlike tax, which is enforced by LHDN, zakat is voluntary. That causes a psychological gap. People will feel obligated to pay tax, but zakat feel optional. Also, zakat system are decentralized across states, so rules can differ.
Now, let's move to the positive stuff. The exemptions and incentives that able to get.
Bank Islam gets to enjoy things like green investment tax allowance, double tax deduction for SRI Suku and stamp duty exemption for Islamic contracts.
I received support under the SME Digitization Grant up to 5,000 ringgit for digital tools plus tax deductions for software and training. And don't forget the Zakat tax rebates. It really helps reduce my tax burden.
Exactly. Sole proprietors can also enjoy personal tax rebate if they earn under 35,000 ringgit, and LHDN even has voluntary disclosure program to help small business catch up without heavy penalties.
So, Mr. FAWWAZ, how will you sum up the key difference?
Bank Islam is corporate, a formal system, Syariah committees, fixed tax rate. TAPAK KUDA AUNI is a personal, flexible rates, but more effort is needed for record keeping. But both must fulfill their dual duty, zakats and tax. Both can get benefit from available incentive.
Right, no matter the size, responsibility matters. Alright, that's all the time we have. Any final advice?
From a corporate perspective, I will say, don't treat zakat as just an expense. It's an opportunity to fulfill your social and spiritual responsibility. At Bank Islam, we see zakat as part of our identity and commitment to ummah development.
To small business owners, don't be afraid of zakat. It's not just compulsory, it's also rewarding.
And always get advice yearly. For example, digital tools, e-filing, zakat calculators are here to help.
Thanks everyone for joining us on this episode of Zakat and Tax, Corporate versus Sole Proprietor. Don't forget to share this podcast and inspire others to fulfill their obligations, both religious and legal. Until next time, Assalamualaikum. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Ting 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 ting. Bye.